Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we had spoken to everyone except Solas. So we're gonna go have a chat with him now. I'm certain that nothing bad will happen. I'm certain that nothing, in any way upsetting or the like is going to happen here. Oh, no. Everything's going to be fine and dandy. Oh, this is my favourite cutscene. And Aenor has no clue what she's about to get into. I love it.
The Temple of Mythal was extraordinary. In all my journeys, I never dreamed of finding anything like it. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I'll restore what was. I'll rely on those I trust, one thing at a time. I'll make the world better. I mean, well, literally this entire time I've been saying that Aenor looks to the future. So this makes the most sense. I think if this had been asked earlier, I think she would have said, I'll rely on those I trust. However, this journey, I think it really has taught her that she might take some inspiration from her friends. However, ultimately, like the mantle of Inquisitor, it all falls on her shoulders. She's the one bearing the brunt of this force. And she, at this stage, she's capable of holding. She's capable of holding it. Her knees are buckling slightly. There are some beads of sweat on her brow. However, she is maintaining that hold. She's able to keep up with that pressure. So yeah, I think don't get me wrong, she likes her friends, she loves her friends, she loves Solas, but I think she does realize that ultimately I am kind of on my own. I have Solas by my side, which is really nice. However, the buck stops at me. Everyone looks to me. They don't look to the group. They look to me and my decision-making capabilities. So, yeah, if this had been earlier on, she probably would have said this, but no. Yeah, focus on the future. Make a better, brighter future.
The war proved that we can't go back to the way things were. I'll try to help this world move forward.
You would risk everything you have in the hope that the future is better. What if it isn't? What if you wake up to find the future you shaped is worse than what was?
I'll keep trying. That won't happen. That doesn't matter. Well, if it's worse, then we try again. Obviously.
I'll take a breath, see where things went wrong, and then try again.
Just like that.
If we don't keep trying, we'll never get it right.
You're right. Thank you.
For what?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You have offered hope. That if one keeps trying, even if the consequences are grave, that someday things will be better. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
We'll do it together, so good luck, Kiss. Hey, stop worrying. I mean, I literally just said it a moment ago. She really feels like Solas is the only one who is truly standing with her. She gets a great deal of her comfort from Solas. Like, she don't get me wrong, she takes comfort from her friends, but she doesn't really feel like they listen to her. They're all so wrapped up in the, in the whole Herald of Andraste, you're the Inquisitor, blah, 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 blah. I think she gets the feeling that a lot of them don't really see her as Aenor. They see her as the Herald or as the Inquisitor. But Solas sees her. Solas sees her, and that is very important to her.
Whatever comes, I will have you by my side.
Come with me, Vanan.
Oh, I love this cutscene. We're heading to Crestwood.
The veil is thin here. Can you feel it on your skin, tingling? I was trying to determine some way to show you what you mean to me.
I already know. Interesting. You don't have to do that. That's such a nice thing, you know, like, oh, I wanted to show you just what you mean to me. That is so incredibly sweet. You like, you don't have to do it, like, but thank you.
That's not necessary, Solas. You're my...
That is the question, is it not? For now, the best gift I can offer is the truth. You are unique. In all Thedas, I never expected to find someone who could draw my attention from the Fade. You have become important to me. More important than I could have imagined.
Oh, I don't think this will work out. Bye, bitch. I'm out. Oh, I was saying in the last episode, you know, Aenor doesn't really have any plans for the future because she hasn't really talked them out with Solas. I think that, how do I put it? I think they're in love, but I don't think either of them has necessarily said, I love you. Well, technically speaking, Solas has, but he said it in Elven. But I think there is both certainty and uncertainty in their relationship. You know, Aenor said, like, oh, you're my... because they haven't really attached a label to it. You know, Aenor has this idea of a future where, you know, she'll take him back to Wycombe and, you know, introduce him to her clan and her city elf family and all of that, and then they can travel Thedas, you know, exploring ruins and all of that good shit. And, you know, it'll just being happy, leaving the mantle of Inquisitor behind and just being happy with Solas. That's what she feels right now, that future coming into focus.
As you are to me.
Then what I must tell you, the truth. Your face, the Valasleen. In my journeys in the Fade, I have seen things. I have discovered what those marks mean.
They honor the elven gods.
No, they are slave markings. Or at least they were in the time of ancient Alathan.
Oh, that can't be right. That's a lie. We were wrong. That doesn't matter. Yeah, that can't be right, dude.
My clan's keeper said they honored the gods. These are their symbols.
Yes, that's right. A noble would mark his slaves to honor the god he worshipped. After Alathan fell, the Dalish forgot.
And if you remember, all of the elves at the Temple of Mythal had Valasleen. They had Mythal's Valasleen. And, you know, Aenor is realizing, oh my god, those weren't exactly priests. They were slaves. They were slaves at the temple, taking care of it. Oh my god. It does matter. It does matter because Aenor, every time she looks in the mirror now, she's going to see the slave brand on her face, effectively. She has learned so much recently, you know, with going to the Temple of Mythal and seeing just how differently the Dalish stories are to what she saw there and all of that. And it was shocking. It was shocking. And to now know that she's got a slave brand on her face, like, I think maybe the shock is kind of bubbling to the surface here. That's what's making her upset. Just like, oh my god, we got things this wrong. Flipping heck.
So this is... what? Just one more thing the Dalish got wrong?
I'm sorry.
We try to preserve our culture, and this is what we keep? Relics of a time when we were no better than Tevinter.
Don't say that. For all they got wrong, the Dalish did one thing right. They made you. I didn't tell you this to hurt you. If you like, I know a spell. I can remove the Valasleen.
I'd like that, I'm not sure. No, they matter to me. No, forget the past. Oh, I don't think she'd know. I honestly don't think she'd know.
These marks have been part of me for so long. I don't know if...
I'm so sorry for causing you pain. It was selfish of me. I look at you and I see what you truly are. And you deserve better than what those cruel marks represent.
Ooh. I want to keep the Valasleen, remove it. This... Oh, how do I want to word this? Aenor's kind of main motto, shall we say, has been forget the past. It doesn't matter, let's work towards a better future. And so, on one hand, I think on a logical level, like, you know, this has always been her motto, her idea, like, who cares about the past? Let's move towards this future. So what should it matter to me that they are actually slave markings? What should it actually matter? But then I think when she thinks with an emotional brain, you know, every day she's going to wake up, she's going to look in the mirror and she's going to think, these are slave marks. Every time I look at my family, I'm going to see people branded as slaves. I think right now she's being a little hypocritical, because I think she'd want them removed. You know, for all she said, oh, why do the Dalish obsess over the past? Why do they do this? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Like, let's just keep moving forwards. Once this has been revealed to her, I don't think she can bear to have that. I don't think she can bear to look at herself. You know, maybe she's taking some glances down into the water and she's seeing those marks and she's sickened. She is no slave. She is no slave.
Then cast your spell. Take the Valasleen away.
Sit. Alasa Malarevas. You are free. You are so beautiful. And I am sorry. I distracted you from your duty. It will never happen again.
And everything comes crashing down. I think she'd just be in shock.
Solas.
Please, Vernan.
I love you, don't do this to me, I believe in us. I've always said I prefer to go for the emotional or the questioning emotions for Aenor. But I've said time and time and again, the pressure is getting to her, the mask is starting to slip. And in this moment, you know, she's feeling so vulnerable You know, this future that she's imagining in her brain. You know, I can take Solas to my clan and I can explain to them what the marks mean. They may not believe Solas, but with me to back him up, to say everything I've seen, they'll believe us together. And she stands here barefaced, and he's just dumped her. And I don't think she can hold back the fact that, you know, all of this frustration, the frustration at being forced to be the Inquisitor, being forced to be the herald of this Andrastian order, you know, all of this frustration, and it's just leaping to the surface.
Tell me you don't care.
I can't do that.
Tell me I was some casual dalliance so I can call you a cold-hearted son of a bitch and move on.
I'm sorry.
My girl! My baby! And she is barefaced. I fucking love that cutscene. It's like the best one. I don't know what to call it. Anger? Betrayal? You've done this to me. And then you've dumped me and kind of left me in this limbo state. You're not giving me any answers. You know, she said, oh, tell me you don't care. And he said, I can't, so clearly you do still care. Clearly there's something going on, but I don't know what it is. And I think in that moment, like I said, she's so frustrated. She is so frustrated with everything that's happening, and I don't think she could hold her tongue, you know, in that moment. I think now that she's had time to think about it, she's returned to Skyhold, she's had a moment to breathe, you know, she's thinking, okay, maybe we can talk about this, you know, I should probably apologize for, you know, pushing him and all of that wasn't right, but she's just so hurt right now with Solas. I think this is the first time she's properly been in love. She's had plenty of other relationships. I wouldn't call her a virgin either. She's had plenty of sexual relationships, but they never went anywhere. They were never anything serious. She's always been very picky with her partners, but she's never had a relationship where she kind of felt like, yeah, I'm falling in love. But with him, she did. And she's just had her heart broken, and she doesn't really know what to make of it. Hello.
Inquisitor, how may I help you prepare for our final battle?
You and I aren't done.
You don't get out of this that easily.
I understand your anger. I am furious with myself as well, but for now, we must focus on what matters. Harden your heart to a cutting edge, and put that pain to good use against Corypheus.
Yeah, she just wants to understand.
It would help me if you could explain why.
The answers would only lead to more questions. An emotional entanglement that would benefit neither of us. The blame is mine, not yours. It was irresponsible and selfish of me. Let that be enough.
Oh, I think, again, now that she's had time to breathe, she's still angry about it, obviously, but just please, at the very least, can we talk about this later? Like, if you're going on about Corypheus, okay, once Corypheus is dead, please can we sit down and talk about this and talk about why this happened?
Will you talk to me when we are finished with Corypheus?
If we are both still alive afterward, then I promise you, everything will be made clear. Let me know if I can be of any more help in planning our final fight.
Oh, the pain. Oh, the pain. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm just gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that for a minute. So, how do I put this? I know she's hurt. She's angry. You know, she kind of feels like, why take me to this really romantic location? Why remove my Valisline? And like, yeah, I asked you to do that, so I am partially at fault there because I asked you to do it. But like, why do all of this and then dump me straight afterwards? That doesn't really make any sense to me. And she's very hurt. She loved this man. I think she still loves this man because it's so sudden. But how do I put it? She's not gonna go collapse on this couch and like, oh my god, my life is over. There was only Solas and now there's nothing else. Like, she's... I think that, to be honest, that's a trait with a lot of Lovellans. I'm not too fond of the idea of, like, my life revolved around Solas, and now that he's dumped me, I'm a mess. I assign songs to most of my characters, if not all of them, and the song is generally, it is the moment of their story that is most important to them. And if you're thinking, oh, well, it must be that, I'm offended. I'm not gonna lie, I would be offended if you thought that the part of Aenor's story that is most important to her is her being dumped by a man. Excuse me? Like, no, she's hurt and she's upset and she's confused, but she's gonna live. She's not gonna fall on her own sword tomorrow. Like, yeah, he dumped her and I think she's not even thinking like, oh, I want to talk about this in the hopes of getting back together. She's thinking like, I want to talk about it so I know what happened. Even if we don't get back together, like, that's fine. I just want to know why this happened. Like, we were both very happy. Like, we were getting along. We didn't have any major arguments. I just want to know, was it a case of cold feet? Do you actually have a wife somewhere that I don't know about? Like, what happened? What happened here? She's not... How do I put this? Like, she's been dumped in the past. She's had plenty of relationships. She will have been dumped in the past. Like, this isn't some new, unspeakable pain for her. You know, there will be people after Solas. She is... I'm getting excited. My apologies. Like... She is under no illusions that she will have relationships after Solas. This man is not the be-all and end-all of men. Or women. Aenor will date both, so... You know, the idea of, like, oh, Solas is the only one. She's like, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I just want to know why this happened. Twisted Beach, in the comments, suggested... the song, oh god, what is it? Pain by, they called 3 Days Grace? It's been a long time since I've listened to that band. I used to listen to them all the time in my emo days when I was a teenager. But I haven't listened to them much since. They suggested Pain for all of the pain Aenor is going to go through. I disagree with that. That is about as far away from the song I associate with Aenor as you could possibly get. Also, just look at this woman. Look at everything she's done. I'm not familiar with Pain. I'm familiar with some of their other songs. Like, look at this face. Look at it. Let's start a riot. A riot. Let's start no. Yes, that is my imitation of 3 Days Grace. Don't judge me. Or, you know, this animal I have become. Like, no. No, that is a big no from Aenor. That is the idea of associating her with like metal screamo music. No. The part of Aenor's tale that I kind of assign her music to, it hasn't happened yet. I'll say when it does. In the cases of my hawk and my warden, my hawk. Her song was the final song from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've done a lot, God knows I've tried to find the truth. I've even lied, but all I know is deep inside I'm bleeding. Also, I apologize if I don't sound right. I've hurt my throat from Let's Start a Riot. Whoops. Oh well. And it's the moment the chantry explodes. And that does coincide with the climax of the game. But that isn't the moment I associate her with music because it's the climax of the game. It's because she has spent the entire game with her head stuck in the sand. She has ignored all of these warning signs and she just, nope, I'm not going to look at it. I've got blinders on. Nah, everything's fine. Everything's totally fine. Yeah. And that is the moment that makes her go, oh my God, I can't look away. I can't look away anymore. I have to face this. My life is in shambles and it is primarily my fault. Dear God. With my warden, with Artin, it's country roads, almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. I forgot the words for a second there. It's that, and it's the moment where she enters the Frostback Mountains to go to Orzammar. There's not even a cutscene. There is no cutscene associated with that moment. It's just where she spawns onto the map. And she is walking past all of the vendors up to the big gates of Orzammar. That is always, for me, that's the most influential moment in her story. Because she's returning home. All of these threads are coalescing. And she is finally returning home. And so many aspects of her story are going to get a conclusion. So yeah, with Aenor, it's kind of like a little happy medium. It is a major story beat, but it's not a major story beat, I'd argue. The song I associate with her is pretty chill, to be honest. Like I said, the idea of the most influential aspect of her story is her getting dumped by a man. I find that offensive. I find that extremely offensive. She is a grown woman. She is capable of standing on her own 2 feet. Yes, she's upset, but people get dumped all the time. She's been dumped before. She'll have relationships after Solas, and she's probably going to get dumped in the future. That doesn't mean that it's a life-changing experience. Yeah, it hurts more this time around because she was properly in love with this guy. But again, that's not the be-all and end-all of Aenor. Aenor is not contingent upon her relationship with a dude. I find it rather sad that a lot of Lavellans seem so wrapped up in Solas, if that makes any kind of sense. It really makes me sad. So when I was developing Aenor, that was something I expressly wanted to avoid. She's a strong, independent woman. Whether Solas is there or whether he's not, she's going to continue. Her life isn't... Her life doesn't revolve around him. I hope I'm making sense there.
Inquisitor.
We can still go over this. No, we've already done that. Yeah, tell me about Corypheus.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
You have waylaid all his other plans. Now, as a petulant child, he will destroy the game board rather than admit defeat. Be ready for anything. He still believes himself a god, and gods do not fall gracefully.
We'll talk later.
Dareth Shira.
Indeed. Goodbye. Goodbye, Solas. I think for now, yeah, it's... Hello. It is annoying that she's not going to get answers until after, the battle, but she can wait. She can wait. To be honest, I think the main thing she's thinking about is, what am I gonna tell my family? They're gonna see me and I won't have any Valisleen and they're gonna say, what the hell happened to you? And how am I gonna explain this? Because, her plan before was oh, I can bring Solas with me and together we can explain it to them. But without him... she's thinking okay, if I explain it this way, how will it go? And if I explain it that way, how will it go? It's just gonna look like she was taken advantage of by a city elf. This wily city elf came and played tricks on her and, you know, persuaded her to do something silly, and, you know, he removed her Valis and all of that, and, you know, that's not what happened at all. You know, I don't think she wants her clan to think of Solas as this wily, cunning, conniving person. Like, she's upset with him, she's hurt by what he did, but, you know, I think she's thinking, presumably, he had a reason for it. You know, I'll figure that out once Corypheus is defeated, but he must have had a reason for dumping me, and as soon as I find that out, I'll feel so much better. But, like, what am I gonna tell my family? What am I gonna tell my family right now? Alrighty then, I think this entire episode was about Aenor and Solas. Fuck it, I love it. I play this game slow, what can I say? In the next episode, we're gonna go track down Morrigan, but until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.